Picture a sea of grass stretching so far that the sky feels closer than the earth. It is late afternoon on the Central Asian steppe, the light turning everything gold. A teenage girl lies flat on her stomach at the edge of a low ridge, chin resting on her hands, eyes narrowed against the wind. Her name is Sarai, daughter of Arden the Scout, and she has been counting horses since she was old enough to walk. She knows the usual shapes on the horizon: lazy trading caravans, scattered bandits, drunk warriors returning from raids, her own clan's riders chasing herds. But today the dust is wrong. It rises in a long, thin line, not in broken clumps. The riders beneath it move in silence, their columns straight, their pace measured, not wasting a single step. Even from this distance, she can see spare horses tied in groups. No children, no wagons, no women. This is not a family camp on the move. This is a blade. The wind shifts and brings a faint, steady thunder that she feels in her ribs more than she hears in her ears. For a moment, Sarai feels something she has never felt before, a sense that the steppe itself is holding its breath. Then she turns and slides down the dusty slope, her heart racing. Someone has to listen. Someone has to understand that these are not the raiders her people are used to. Sarai's clan has always trusted the eyes of its scouts more than the words of strangers. Her father Arden rides the boulders of the freezing lands in all seasons, reading hoofprints the way other men read letters. He taught Sarai to notice everything: how many horses in a herd by the shape of the dust, whether a rider is tired or fresh by the way he sits in the saddle, how to tell a poor bandit band from a war party by the number of spare mounts. Their people live in felt yurts that can be packed in an hour, their wealth tied up in horses, sheep and goats. Enemies come and go. Neighboring tribes, tax collectors from distant cities, desperate men from the mountains. But the rules are always the same. Loud men are careless. Drunk men are slow. Greedy men like to show off what they've taken. The elders of the clan have survived this long because they understand these patterns. In the evenings they sit around the central fire, long braids streaked with gray, drinking fermented mare's milk and arguing about pasture and honor. Lately, though, new stories ride on the wind with the traders. Whispers of a hard-faced warlord rising in the east, binding clans under one fist, drilling riders like soldiers instead of bandits. No one in Sarai's camp has seen these men. Rumors are for city folk and cowards, the elders say. Out here, the steppe tests every army the same. The weak simply vanish. Sarai believes that too. Until this afternoon. She bursts into the main circle of yurts, boots pounding on the packed earth, still catching her breath. The elders sit in the shade of a woolen canopy, her father among them, his bow unstrung across his knees. "Riders," she says, pointing toward the ridge. "Many. They move like one." Some of the older men chuckle at her urgency. One calls her Little Falcon and tells her to slow down. Only Arden's face changes. He stands and follows her out, climbing halfway up the slope to look. Sarai shows him the line of dust, the tiny dark marks moving underneath. His jaw tightens. "No wagons," he murmurs. "Too many spare horses." But when they go back down, the council splits. One elder says it's just a large raid like many before. Another insists no one would be foolish enough to attack their camp at the end of summer, when herds are strong and men are home. They decide to double the night watch, move the animals closer, and laugh off Sarai's fear. "You see danger in every cloud," one teases her. When she tries to explain their silence, their straight column, the way the dust line does not break, the old men wave her away. Even Arden tells her quietly, "We will be ready enough. Go help your mother tie the lambs." That night, as stars burn like pinpricks overhead and the wind rattles the felt walls, Sarai lies awake. Out beyond the circle of firelight, the steppe is as black as ink, and somewhere in that darkness, the silent riders are still coming. They arrive just before dawn, when even the best horsemen are slow and stiff. The first warning is not a shout, but a change in the horses. Herds tethered near the camp suddenly pull back against their ropes, ears flat, eyes rolling white. Sarai is already up, unlatching the flap of the yurt to look outside when she hears it. Not the wild, broken yelling of raiders, but the deep, measured drum of many hooves moving together. Then a single horn call, short, hard, practiced. From the ridge, riders cascade down like a dark wave. They do not charge in with scattered screams. They split cleanly into groups, some circling the herd, some driving straight toward the yurts, some racing to cut off any escape to the river. Arrows fall in precise volleys, not the wild spraying of panicked men. A few of Sarai's warriors try to mount and meet them head-on, and for a breath it looks like any other steppe skirmish. Then the strangers turn, pretending to flee. The clansmen chase, and are suddenly flanked from both sides by fresh riders who had been hidden in the low ground. It is a trick Sarai has never seen, a game of traps within traps. Smoke begins to rise as a yurt catches fire, the felt hissing and folding under flame. Children scream, goats scatter, women grab what they can carry. Arden throws Sarai onto a small mare and slaps the animal's flank, shouting for her to ride for the ravine, the narrow cut in the earth he once showed her as a secret path. "Count them," he yells. "Remember how they move. Live and tell others." She wants to stay to fight, but the mare surges forward, and the camp disappears behind curtains of dust and smoke. From the lip of the ravine, hidden among thorn bushes, Sarai looks back at her burning world. The strangers' banners are small and plain, their armor simple, but their movements are like a single mind. Groups peel away with captured horses, others bind prisoners quickly and efficiently, none wasting time on boasting or cruelty. This is not a raid for glory. It is a careful cutting of roots. She sees her father's horse stumble and go down, sees him rise again, blood on his cheek, only to be surrounded and forced to his knees. She has no arrow that can reach that far, no magic word to stop what is happening. All she can do is watch and burn his face into her memory alongside the patterns of dust and hoofbeats. By midday the camp is gone, taken, burned, scattered. Only black scars remain on the grass. Sarai rides west with a handful of survivors, her voice hoarse from repeating the same words. Silent riders, no wagons, straight lines, tricks within tricks. Most chiefs she meets shrug off her story. Their fathers fought raiders and lived. So will they. A few listen, eyes darkening, but they are too small to stand alone against what is coming. Years later, when travelers speak the name Mongol with fear and awe, Sarai will remember the first time she saw them, when they were still just an unnamed dust line on the horizon. She will live as a guide and scout, teaching others how to read the steppe. And she will know, with a heavy kind of clarity, that history often announces itself first to people like her, young, ignored, standing alone on a ridge while the rest of the world laughs around the fire.